If cosecant alpha equals 9 and alpha is between 0 and pi halves and beta is in quadrant 4 with tangent beta equaling -8, find these things. Okay, so let's draw some triangles. First of all, we're going to get the information for alpha. Alpha is between 0 and pi halves, so we're in quadrant 1. And cosecant of alpha is 9, so the reciprocal function is sine alpha. That means sine alpha is 1 over 9. Flip it over. So let's label that. Sine is opposite. That's 1 over hypotenuse. That's 9. So if we find the missing side, we have, what happened? So if we find the missing side, we have 1 squared plus x squared equal 9 squared. So x squared equals 81 minus 1, which is 80. So x would be the square root of 80. That will actually simplify because 80 happens to be 16 times 5. So square root the 16, that comes out in front as a 4, and the 5 is under. So this side we don't have is 4 square roots of 5, and it's positive because we're in quadrant 1. Let's go ahead and draw another picture to see what's going on with beta. Beta is a quadrant 4 angle, and tangent of beta is -1/8. Tangent is opposite, so -8 over adjacent 1. So we just made that 8 over 1. And we know that in quadrant 4, the y value is the one that needs the negative. If we did 1 squared plus 8 squared is 64 plus 165, and then square root it, we've got the hypotenuse, which is square root of 65. So now we want cosine alpha plus beta. That is cosine alpha cosine beta. When the trig functions match, the sign in the middle is opposite, so minus sine alpha sine beta. All right, let's plug in the pieces. Cosine of alpha going to our alpha triangle is adjacent over hypotenuse, so 4 square roots of 5 over 9 times cosine beta. Our beta triangle cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so 1 over square root 65. Minus, we need sine alpha back to the alpha triangle. We need opposite over hypotenuse. That's 1 over 9. And then we need sine beta. In the beta triangle, that is opposite -8 over hypotenuse, which is square root of 65. We're going to leave it in exact form, but we're going to combine those fractions. 9 over square root of 65. This first one is 4 square roots of 5. The second one, negative and negative, is positive 8. Now let's go ahead and do the second one, part B. We've got sine of the first angle, cosine of the second angle. Trig functions are different, so the sign matches. That's a negative. Cosine of the first angle, sine of the second angle. All right, so sine alpha, I'm just making some spots for these. Sine alpha is going to be opposite over hypotenuse, which is 1/9. Cosine beta adjacent over hypotenuse, 1 over square root 65. Minus, we need cosine alpha, so that's adjacent over hypotenuse. And then we need sine beta, which is opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, combining those into one fraction, we got 9 square roots of 65 for the denominator. Numerator looks like it's going to be 1. Minus a minus makes a plus. 4 times 8 is 32 square roots of 5.